Aplo, Aplo, commonly referred to as Uncle Tranimal, is a wife from Gimi. He came here to work as a slave. It is because he is in debt. They said, "You work there, we'll be fine. You're settling a debt." The debt is to his neighbor community called Slemena, and it's about his father and his father. And they said, "Just go there and do this. It's work. You'll see. It's nothing demeaning to it." He knew that this was something to come of him. He has 6 brothers, and he was selected because he was the biggest and strongest. And they said, "You will be the one that goes to it and see this way." But he was upset, nonetheless. When he came here, he found that he was not the same size and shape as he was, and this had some demeaning value to him because he said, "I was quite large. I was over 8 feet tall, and I had very large muscles, and now I am like 5'8", and I am a normal way, and how am I to be of use any longer?" So they saw that he was not what they were, and he said, "Well, why am I like this instead? I could do more work with it this way, and the day would be short." Well, what had happened was when he went to the colony he was from, which we refer to as Sodom, they said, "You are the one who was going to work there," and he understood this. It had been told to him as a boy that he would have to see the way they see it. This was not completely unheard of, and he was not upset by it because his father had said, "Our debt will be settled, and we will no longer have a debt to them, and it is a large debt, and we have much to show for it." And they understood that this is the price that he would pay for their debt to be settled. When he went to it, they said, "It is broken. How are we to be sure that it is fine?" And they said, It is. We contact them all the time. Sometimes they come to see us. It is not in any error. You will see that there is not a problem when you go in to see it." And he saw that it was fine. He occasionally writes them in some way that they see it that no one else can see, because this is something Y is known to do. They are in contact in a secret way. This is nothing to be afeared of by anybody, but they know that this is basically a common dema. And everyone sees this as they see one another still. Well, this is not the way it is in America, and they don't see each other when they see each other as they have before, and this is something that he has grown to despise because they don't see him and he sees his own people, and it's a very odd situation to them. What has become a problem is that he built a large swath of the New York State area, including the highway and the bridge and the underworld and other overland areas, and 9,700 houses in total, and some other things as well that we cannot comment on at this time or include in any lists or manuscripts. They owe him $250 million, which is probably antiquated, and the money will never be paid to him, and he understood that. He said, "How am I to get by?" And so he was dubbed into Freemasonry. When he was dubbed into Freemasonry, they decided they would take the money and put it into account they see, and they said, "You can't do that. The money goes to someone else. His account has to be separate than all the rest of them." This had a flaw, they said to it when he spoke. He said, "They cannot get this money out of him from here. This is very little money, and they see this way." They said, "It is about the work. It is not about the debt, and he has to see this way that he works, and we see that he works, and this is what the idea is, but the money has to be sent to them regardless, because it is to be seen as a way we see a debt paid." They did not like this at all, and they said, "What do you mean we pay this debt he owes they?" They could not seem to comprehend that there was some other deal that they did not make, and this has finally been resolved. And they said it is still unresolved because they still see it. And that's the issue, is they see it. You see, it's a game, a shoot 'em up. It's a fun one. We know that it's good. People said this is probably one of the best ones there are, and we see it. And they said this game has nothing to do with all of this. It is just a game, and you already know that that's what it was, and that's the way we try to do this. So it's fun. This one happens to be more like a hit than some of the other ones, and most people have absolutely no idea about the overtones to this one. If you have played it, you see that it is pretty good, and this is sort of the problem. He was featured in the song Rock You Like a Hurricane for some reason, and nobody knows exactly what this means. If you know what we see, he is trying to get a way to see so that he can afford to buy a new home and car for his great grandson, as it was, because they still cannot leave the way. We see debt still unpaid.